Like, I had no idea how many sessions I was going to have. And man, I just got booked up and I kept adding them, and I just don't have time. I really wanted to make some really cool, video while I was here, with a bunch of like B-roll of the city and just some cool stuff. But I don't know, I'm leaving in a day, so obviously I'm not going to have time for a super cool video. So I figured I'd just make one real quick, just so I have some record of being in New York. But so when I was driving to the airport, it's a long drive from that small fishing village to get to the airport. So I was asking my kids, I was like, what are the most empowering words that you can think of to put out into the universe? And so when I asked them that, personally, I had been thinking about, I don't know. Because to me, the words I don't know are so empowering. I mean, because it just frees you up. You know what I mean? It just frees you up for all possibilities. Because as soon as you think you know something, you start limiting your ability. You just limit your focus. If you think you know the answer, you are shutting yourself off from other possibilities. So I just find I find I don't know freeing. Like when people ask me a question, like I don't know, it just feels free instead of like, oh yeah, this is the way it is. So I was thinking about I don't know, but then my 12-year-old, she's like, I am. I was like, wow, that's a good one. I mean, we all know how powerful I am is. I mean, I am is like as powerful as I try is useless. I mean, you should never use the word I try. I try to do this. That's jerking off. That's literally, you couldn't say anything less empowering to this field of consciousness, to the universe than I try. Because if you say I try, guess what? The universe is like, okay, keep on trying. Just keep on trying. But if you say I am, that puts you at that frequency where you match that frequency. When you say I am that, it's an empowering. That's got emotion behind it. It's so I am is obviously very powerful and should be used all the time. Instead of saying I want this, or it's certainly not I try to do this. I am that. That puts you at that frequency to where that is attracted to you, and it's probably the two most powerful words that you can put out in the universe. But my 10-year-old, she says maybe, and I go maybe. Ooh, that's a good one. And I said, why did you say that? And she goes, remember that video you had me watch? And I'm always having my kids, watch videos and stuff that I think are mind expanding, thought-provoking videos. So, and it was an Alan Watts video, and it was this Chinese parable. I love Alan Watts. I could listen to a half hour of Alan Watts like every day. And so it was this Chinese parable. And so this Chinese farmer, one day his horse just breaks out of the corral and just takes off. So he doesn't have a horse. He's horseless. And, you need a horse for work, if you're a farmer. And so that night, all the townspeople and his friends, they came over and like, oh, that's terrible. How unfortunate that, your only horse took off. And he's like, yeah, maybe. And then the next day, his horse comes back. But his horse comes back with 7 wild horses. And him and his son, they get him all corralled up, and now he's got 8 horses. And so, his friends and, the fellow townsmen was like, wow, what a good fortune. That's amazing. Like that what a lucky thing to happen. And he's like, maybe. And so the next day, they wake up and his son says, hey, Dad, I'm going to start breaking, these wild horses so we can use them. So, he goes out and, saddles one up and starts to jump on and ride it to break it. And it kicks him off, and he lands on a rock, and he breaks his elbow. And that night, all his friends come over, and townspeople come over and say, "Oh, that's terrible. That's, man, that, your son has got a broken elbow. How's he going to help you, work? How's he going to help this?" And the guy's like, maybe, maybe that's a bad thing. So then the next day, the Chinese army comes in, and they're recruiting all the young kids to go to war. But they don't take his kid because his kid has a broken elbow. And so the townspeople and his friends come over that night, and they're saying, that's what a good fortune. That's amazing. And he says, maybe. I love that, man, because to me, what that says is, when things happen in our life, we're so quick to label them. Oh, this is terrible. This is negative, or this is great. This is perfect. But man, we don't know. We really, from our limited perspective on that situation, we so quickly judge a situation. But man, we don't know how it's going to unfold. I can't tell you how many things that I considered to be negative or unfortunate in my life turned out to be these blessings later on, looking back. And I just think that, man, maybe just like, if we could just be less quick to judge circumstances and things that are coming up in our life, whether that's a sickness or, difficulties with a relationship. I think we should reserve judgment and just kind of be present and just see how that unfolds. Because when we start signing labels to situations, and I think we just greatly limit. It's a very narrow perspective. So then I was thinking to myself, the one word is maybe. And then, the two words, I am, obviously that's the most empowering. I mean, you should use I am all the time. And then it was like, I don't know. And I for some reason, I kind of put them together, and I was like, maybe I am, I don't know. And I was like, wow, that doesn't sound too empowering. Maybe I am, I don't know. That just seems like a really low frequency thing to put out into the universe. But, and then I thought, well, what if you said it like, maybe I am, I don't know. Man, that's more empowering. There's a different emotion behind that. So I just wanted to just make a quick video. Man, I'm having an amazing time here in New York City, and I'm going to have to come back because, man, the reception to this reconnection and this what's happening with these people is, I think I already have like 10, 15 people lined up ready to do it the next time I come back. So I might just come back in 6 weeks and just reconnect these people, or facilitate the reconnections. But yeah, I had an interesting thing. I met these filmmakers, they're editors, and they were like, their experience was pretty mind-blowing for them. One of them kind of expected. He's kind of on the same page, but one of them, she was rather skeptic, you could say, and she had a really amazing, life-changing experience. And they started talking about possibly doing a documentary about what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, how can everyday people, just normal people, all of a sudden turn into a Wi-Fi unit for these frequencies that are literally healing the space, healing the people that they interact with, bringing a focus and a calmness. Like, how is this really happening? It's. I think a documentary deserves to be made about this because it is. It's absolutely amazing. So, man, I want to try to make more videos while I'm here because I'll probably have this uploaded today. I'm not going to put anything else besides just this talk. But I did picked up a sweet ass drone, shoots 4K. I got a new camera, which I'm using now. I don't know how to use it yet. I just turned it on. So hopefully, I'm gonna try to amp up. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more artistic in my videos, and we'll see what happens, man. It'll still be just me talking, but we'll see how it plays out. Okay, peace.